Look, LMS Tactical has awesome information and great videos, but he has a very foul mouth. There's terrible language in this video, so don't be stupid and watch it if you're going to be offended. Go watch Honey Boo Boo or some other stupid video. You've been warned.
Well, greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. I hope everybody's doing well. Merry Christmas to everybody. I've had a lot of requests to give my opinions on the Daniel Shaver killing that went down in Arizona. I think it was Mesa, Arizona. And if you're not familiar with that shooting, do yourself a favor and just go on. You're on YouTube now, so just search either the Daniel Shaver shooting or Arizona cop shoots man in hotel. Yeah, it's all over the internet. I'm assuming that a lot of you know what I'm talking about. I deliberately gave it some time before I commented on it because of a couple reasons, not the least of which is that, I was a little upset. So this is not going to be a real pro-police type video if you just look at it on the surface. But if you listen to what I'm saying and you happen to be a law enforcement officer, then I invite you to take your emotions out of it and listen to what I'm saying and then give me a response. And that goes for all of you. Not just cops. For those that don't know who I am, I'm retired LAPD. And, I'm not somebody that just supports the police just because they're wearing a badge. I know I'm smart enough to know, and you should be smart enough to know, that cops are human and humans can be screwed up. And, fortunately, the number of cops versus civilians in any setting being bad is much less. That was not very eloquent, but I think you know what I'm saying. Get 100 people 100 cops in the room, you might have one or two that are bad. 100 people in the room, you might have 40 or 50 that are bad. That's just my opinion. So this shooting basically is, and I don't want to go over the whole shooting because that'll just waste time, assuming that you know about it. If you haven't seen it, watch it and then come back and watch this video. And I'm sorry about the sun in your eyes here. So basically, the call is, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, I understand that the call came out as a man waving a gun out of a hotel window. Now, I've been on those types of calls before, countless times. That's a pretty common call. And this happened about a year ago, so this was before the Vegas thing. Not that that should matter. And, they just released the video. So the cops get there, and the whole video is from the perspective of the body camera worn by the officer that ends up killing Mr. Shaver. Now, spoiler alert, the cop was exonerated criminally. Now, I don't know whether or not he's still on the department. I got to believe that civilly he's still looking at, we all saw O.J. Simpson be found not guilty in criminal court, but was found, guilty in civil court. So the standards of preponderance of evidence and whatnot in civil court is not as strict as criminal. Anyways, so basically the officer gets there. I don't know how many officers were there, but you can certainly see there's at least two. And the officer who's filming this, and I don't know his name, his body camera, he's got an AR-15 that you can see that he's got direct. He calls the suspect out of the hotel room. They're in a hotel hallway. There's a female in there. She comes out, she complies, gets on her knees, moves forward out of the picture. And then the male suspect comes out, Mr. Shaver. And this is where I have a problem with it because I don't agree with this. I mean, personally, and this is going to offend some people, but I call it a murder. And that's what I think it was. I think it was a murder. And here's why. I mean, to me, it's an embarrassment, and it's a travesty, and it's pathetic, and it was gut-wrenching, and it really upset me. It physically upset me. And believe me, I'm by no means a perfect person, and cops do make mistakes. I don't think this was a mistake. I think this was a murder. I'm sorry if that offends you. So, here's what happened. The officer starts giving this unbelievable sequence of commands. At first,
say a command.
I didn't say, my GPS heard me. I'm not saying a command, you dumb fucking thing. Oh God, she's going to be talking and I don't know how to stop her. Cancel. Hang on a second. How do you get out of this? Let's see. This is so stupid. I'm sorry. All right. So anyways, sorry about that. So he's giving these commands, which at first, oh gosh, she's gonna say it again. At first it's legitimate, you know. Come down, you put your hands over your head, come down to your knees, you know, cross your feet behind your, you know, cross your legs behind your body, interlace your hands, whatever. And now Mr. Shaver does everything he's told. There's no attitude. Not that attitude would justify murder, so don't read into it. I'm just painting a picture here because it's the totality of this video that makes me draw my conclusion, my extreme conclusion that this guy was murdered by the police. So everything does matter in this case, and I'll explain that in a second. Mr. Shaver's not motherfucking the police. Hey, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. He's doing what he's told. He's obviously, he got some high blood pressure. He's obviously nervous. He's got at least 2 AR-15s pointed at him, at least one, I think 2. And this cop goes into this unbelievable series of instructions, which are nothing short of insane. I mean, if this guy was wearing a Nazi, I'm sorry to do this, but this is the analogy that I see in my head, is that if it's almost like some psychotic Nazi having fun with somebody he's getting ready to execute. Because I'm going to give you my example of sort of how it went down. Now, you need to follow my this is the officer. And it's not verbatim, but it's this tone and this flavor. You need to follow my instructions, young man. And if you don't, there's a very good likelihood that you will lose your life today. Now, I'm going to ask you to come down, and if you don't understand and you make a mistake, you're probably going to get killed. And then it escalates. Now, come down to your chest. Okay, move forward a little bit. Keep your hands where I can see them now. If you haven't been drinking or anything, right? No, officer. Okay, so then there's no reason that you can't follow my instructions. And if you don't, I'm going to interpret that as a hostile act, and I'm going to respond accordingly. And you're going to, in all likelihood, lose your life. I mean, the dude is starting to go nuts, the officer. And the whole time, the anxiety of Mr. Shaver is understandably skyrocketing. And he's down, he's up, he comes forward, he's doing everything he's told. Everything. And then, as at some point, he's on his knees. You come to find out later, I think his shorts had slid down because he has no weapon on him. He's wearing shorts and a shirt, untucked. But his hand drops down and does break the perimeter of the side of his body, which looks like he's reaching for his shorts. There's a little bit of a delay. You know, the officer's like, get your hands, no, don't move your hands or whatever. Get your hands up. The hands come back out, and then the officer shoots him 5 times and just kills him instantly. Doesn't say a word, doesn't even look at the body that I can see from the camera view. Moves on and does this thing. Now, I know there's going to be cops going, oh, well, you know, he's still got a tactical situation. He's got to clear the room. Yeah, I get that, but I'm talking humanity here, not robotic bullshit. Now, and I've been in like I said, I've been in these situations before, so this is not something that I can't relate to. All right, so let's back it up. Now, technically, and this is where I think he got off, although it shocks the hell out of me. Technically, you know, when you're dealing with a situation like that, and a guy reaches behind his back, it's pretty much a death sentence. I get that. But my problem stems from, oh my God. Of course I'm getting a call. Let me decline this. God, people are calling me, man. I swear to God, I ought to turn the fucking thing into airplane mode. Hang on a second. So I get all that. But the officer's behavior, his tempo, this insane barrage of instructions, in my opinion, put that guy, Mr. Shaver, in a position where he could justify killing him. Now, did the cop wake up and say, I'm going to kill somebody today? I don't know. Did the cop say, hey, I don't like the way this guy looks, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to murder him? I doubt it. You know what I think was happening? And I'm pretty good at judging this kind of shit. I think the guy, the officer, because he's a young-looking dude, I think he was trying to make a really cool video so he could impress his girlfriend or his boyfriend or his mom or somebody. You know, look how powerful and badass I am. That's my opinion. And if you're watching this, officer, and you don't like it, that's just tough shit. That's what I think is going on in that video. And somebody lost their life. A father and a husband lost their life because of this shit. Now, why do I draw that conclusion? Because there were many, many options. Many options. At any time, from the moment Mr. Shaver got down on his knees, I mean, he should have been, you had other officers there, he should have been handcuffed right then and there. This goes on for an insane amount of time, and there's no reason that he should not have been handcuffed. And if you really feel that you're in fear of your life, why don't you just tase his ass? You know, I mean, but to sit there and give these insane instructions coupled with constant threats that you're going to die and then following through and killing the guy, that moves it into the murder zone as far as I'm concerned. Now, if that exact situation had happened and Mr. Shaver had got down on his knees and then reached behind his back and was shot, I wouldn't be making this tape, because that kind of shit, you know, it's unfortunate. Unarmed people get shot for reaching for stupid shit. You know, in my day, the classic story was the guy that was reaching for the I'm a deaf mute card and the cop killed him. That's tragic, but that does happen. That's just the reality of life, and I don't minimize it, but I understand it. That's not murder. This officer just seemed to delay and choose not to use other options to secure this individual until he could get him to fuck up, and then killed him. I'm not happy about it. I hope they sue the living fuck out of Mesa PD. I hope his family gets a shitload of money, which isn't going to bring him back. But I think it's important. It's important to send a message. What kind of message is this, that he's found not guilty of anything? I mean, what the fuck? Anyways, what do you guys think about this? That's what I think about it. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll be making more videos as the day progresses, I think. Got a lot going on. But I hope you guys are being safe and sound, and let me know what you think. LMS Tactical, I'm out.
Ha 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 ha!